Grace family, thanks for joining us for our second week of our Sunday school that we're doing here right before our Sunday morning messages. Again, we're doing these to let you know some of the decisions that the church leadership has made regarding some changes we're going to be doing around the church, but not just what we're changing, but also why we are making these changes. And I firmly believe that God is allowing us to use this time to position ourselves to be better instruments of the gospel for Him. And our church has some issues with retention of visitors. And our heart, my heart, and I believe the heart of our entire church is to reach the lost for Christ, but also reach the next generation. If we don't reach the young adults, the college students that we have in our community, and we just continue with the same people we have, eventually our church is going to die out. And not just our church, but every church. And so the church needs to change and evolve to help reach the next generation. And we as a church, we don't have a problem reaching out. We canvass, we knock doors, we invite people, we send out tracts. We do not have a problem reaching out to invite people to church, and we don't have a problem getting visitors to church. We have visitors come to church all the time, but we do have a problem getting them to return. For whatever reason, they don't get connected, they don't feel plugged in, they don't feel excited about New Grace, and so they'll come once, but then they don't come back again. And so to achieve this, to achieve where we got people who are not just coming one time, but they're coming multiple times, they're getting plugged in, they're getting excited, they're learning to really love the church. To help achieve that, we need the church to be an irresistible environment. And I'm not just talking about cosmetics, and I'm not just talking about decorations. I need, as a whole culture, as a whole society, as a whole entity, the church needs to be an irresistible environment. And there are three things that we need to have to achieve this goal. Now, the first one is an appealing setting. As a church, we need an appealing setting. And the appealing setting, it begins in the parking lot. When people pull into the parking lot, are they greeted by a smiling face and someone who welcomes them here and directs them where to go? Because if you've ever been a visitor at a church for the first time, it is a little confusing when you first pull in. You don't really know where to go. Even if there's a visitor parking lot like we have, you pull in and you're not sure where you're supposed to park. You're not sure where you're supposed to go. And so we need people in the parking lot that are greeting them, that are welcoming them, that are saying, "Hey, you can park over there. As soon as you park, you go right through that front door, and somebody will be there to assist you." And then we have welcoming greeters who are in the church, who again welcome people. If they have kids, show them to the nursery, show them to children's church, show them, give them a visitor packet, walk them to a seat and sit them down. Charles Stanley or Andy Stanley says that by the time the preacher gets up to preach his message, every visitor in the building has already been preached to about 12 times through meetings they've had with people, through interactions they've had with people. So by the time that I get up to preach, they already have an idea of what type of church we are and what culture our church is. And so the irresistible environment and the appealing setting, it's more than just what the church looks like. It's how the church feels. And so these are some things we want to start implementing. We want some parking lot attendants and parking lot greeters, some young men who are willing to go out there and welcome people and direct people. We need some greeters in the building that when people come in, they can greet them and welcome them and show them to their seat and make them feel comfortable. Not overwhelm them, but make them feel comfortable. And the appealing setting also has to do with the way the church looks. And we have to be honest here, folks. Our church looks very dated. It has not been updated since it was built over 40 years ago, and the decorations and the decor have stayed the same orange color that went out in the early 80s, and it's not coming back. It's gone, and it's gone for good, and it's not coming back. But we've got a very dated sanctuary. We have a very dated building. We've made some updates in the foyer last year, and that has helped. But the first thing people see when they come in the auditorium is not the orange pews. The pews are comfortable, and I don't like the color, but I love the pews. They don't see the orange carpet. The first thing they see is the platform. They see the altar, the platform, the baptistry. They see that front area. So a lot of changes all the changes we have made regarding our decorations are to that front area. And at the end of this video, I'm going to give you a little tour and let you know what we've done to that front area, and still some things that we need to do to that front area. But that's part of the appealing setting. We want people to feel comfortable. We want them to feel to understand that it's a modern, it's an exciting setting. So we want them to have that just excitement as soon as they pull in the parking lot, that, man, there's something going on here. And then they come in the building, and, man, these people are so nice. And then they come into the sanctuary, and, man, look at this place. It's exciting. It's modern. It's nice. And so we want to build that appealing setting. Another thing we want to do is to have this irresistible environment. The second thing we need is engaging communication. And this comes from our teachers and our staff members and our preachers and things like that. And one of the things we're going to do to help with engaging communication is we are going through some training. We're doing it right now with several of the men and women in the church, some of the leadership of the church, some who have been here for a while, but they're willing to step up. And we're going through some training to train them how to be engaging communicators, how they can help really get across the message of the gospel, because that's the most important thing. And so we're doing training with men and women. I'm doing some training that's separate from that. And so we're training to try to make ourselves better presenters of the gospel. And the third thing we need is helpful content. And the helpful content, it comes from the pulpit. It comes from me preaching. And one of the things I have to make sure that I'm doing is, as I'm preaching all the counsel of the Word of God, I'm not skipping around. I'm not, preaching feel-good messages, but I'm giving life application to the hard Bible truth that we're going to study. And I try to do that anyway, but we're really going to focus on that. And one thing we're going to do to focus on that, and one of the changes we're making to our service schedule, is we are no longer going to have a midweek Bible study here at the church. We've been not doing it for several weeks now. We've been doing it virtually, and we're going to keep that going. We're not going to do the virtual anymore, but we are going to not have any more Wednesday night Bible studies here. What we are going to have is we're going to have growth groups that meet throughout the city at different times and different nights of the week, where the people are studying the message that was preached Sunday morning. And so they're diving deeper into the truth that was given and trying to really find how they can apply that to their life. And so we've got several teachers throughout the city. And in the next couple weeks, we're going to put a poll on Facebook looking for, we're not going to ask for what day works for you. We're going to tell you this day, this time. Pick one that works best for you. And then once you pick the one that works best for you, we'll tell you where it is, and you can go join that growth group. And you can begin meeting outside of the church with other church members and other family of God to really grow. And what I want these growth groups to be is I want them to be not just our church family meeting and talking, but it's a great opportunity to invite neighbors or friends or coworkers who aren't in church or who are unchurched or unsaved. And you can invite them to introduce them to the gospel, to introduce them to church, to begin that process of getting them to the church to hear the gospel itself. And I know a lot of folks are wondering, why are we doing this? It's worked for 40 years. It's worked for 50 years. Why are we doing that? Well, honestly, folks, it's not. And it's not working now. We're not growing our church. We're maintaining our church. We're maintaining the believers. We're helping the believers, which is good. We're helping the community. We are serving, 50 families a month through our community cupboard. We've got families we're serving through our Samaritan closet. We are serving the community, but we're not bringing the community in. And we need to bring the community in. And Paul said in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, "For though I am free from all men, yet have I made myself servant unto all, that I might gain the more. And unto the Jews I am become a Jew, that I might gain the Jews. To them that are under the law, as under the law, that I might gain them that are under the law. To them that are without the law, as without law, being not without law to God, but under the law of Christ, that I might gain them that are without law. To the weak I become weak, that I might gain the weak. I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. And this I do for the gospel's sake, that I might not be partaker thereof with you. What Paul is saying there is that for him to get the gospel to everyone he can, he relates to everyone he can. He doesn't become a drunk to reach the drunk, but you know what? He's not afraid to talk to the drunk. He's not afraid to kind of to let them know, hey, you know what? You've got your struggle, I've got my struggle. You know, he shows himself. He becomes what he needs to become to reach the world for Christ. And that's what we're trying to do. We're not gonna stop preaching the gospel. The gospel message will be the same message you've heard for the longest time. We're not changing our style of music. We are a blended worship service, and so we're going to be singing a lot of praise songs. We'll sing some hymns every once in a while. Maybe the way we do our music may change by that, with some more live instrumentation, and I'll show you that in the video. But we're not changing the type of music we do. We're not changing the message we preach. We're changing the method of delivery to reach all. We are becoming all things so we can reach all men. Hope this has cleared up any questions, any concerns. Again, if you have a concern, if you have a question, I want you to reach out to me. Do not reach out to each other and start complaining about what we're doing that you don't like or what you think we should do. That's going to cause discord, and discord is the most dangerous thing in a church. And you think, oh, well, it's no big deal. You're calling each other and complaining about what we're doing or why we're doing it can begin to spread a cancer in this church that no matter what anybody does will ruin it. And besides that, God says it's a sin. So if you have a concern, call me. If you have a complaint, call me. If you have a suggestion, call me. Everything we're doing, we've run by the church leadership. The leadership has made these decisions. We've gotten advice from young families on what to do to make it appealing to them. And so it's not a unilateral decision. So if you have a problem, just come to me. Come to me, and I'll help take care of it. I'll help calm you. I'll answer any questions you have. But I'm going to show you the video of what we're doing to the church, the sanctuary, basically the front end, and then we'll have the preaching service in just a bit. Y'all have a great day. All right. Well, the first thing you should notice, of course, is the new pallet wall on the back there. What we've done is we painted everything blue, a kind of a gray blue. We've got the baptistry and the side walls a dark blue, and then we put this pallet wall up to give it a little bit of modern feel. We moved the cross down because, as you can see, we have a center projector now, and that projector is going to be projecting our lyrics and sermon information up on the screen. So the cross would have been covered pretty much all the time. So we moved that cross down for that. You're also going to notice that the carpet is gone. We tore up the carpet because we took that knee wall down, that modesty wall. We took it down to enlarge the area of the platform so we could put the instrumentation up on the platform instead of having it off to the side. And when we did that, we just go ahead and took off the carpet. And we do want to replace that. We want to replace it with hardwood, and that's going to come up hopefully in the next week. We're going to get that done and purchase the items for that. We also, you'll notice there are a set of electric drums up there. We have an electric piano up there as well as the guitar in the middle. And there's no reason to really be concerned about the drums. We use drums in all of our music that has soundtracks to it, or the things that we play for the praise team. This is just a way for us to have live music, and it is electric, so we can turn the volume down where it's not overpowering. And I know sometimes the sight of drums concerns people. I do not want you to be concerned. Give us time to show how much better it's going to be doing this way. We're also going to have the piano up there so that we can have more music, live music from the piano and the guitar. And basically, while we're doing this, is we want the instrumentation to be on the platform with the singers, so they're more participating in the worship service than kind of off to the side, not taking care of it. And so that's really all the changes we're going to make. I'll be honest with you, we do need your help. All these changes, everything that was purchased has been purchased by the leadership of the church, by our families. So several families have, about 3 or 4 families have been involved in purchasing these items. That projector, the drum set, the everything, all the pallets, every material, the paint, it's all been purchased by us. The church has not paid for anything because we are on a spending freeze during the coronavirus. And so our last thing to do is the floor, the putting the hardwood floor on the stage. And that's what we need your help with. If you would like to donate towards this, we would love your help. You can send the money to the church. You can email it. You can, or not email it. You can't email money. You can send it in the mail. You can drop it by the church. You can send it via PayPal, and just mark that it's for remodel. And that way we can use that money to purchase the flooring for the platform, and we can have that done before we meet together. It's gonna cost us about $1,200 to do it. We also want to buy a brand new electric piano. That one's not very good, and so that's a wish. But we do have a need of the floor. So if you would be able to help, we'd love to. We'd like you to be able to help, and like you to be able to get involved. Maybe you can't help physically, you can help financially, and so don't forget about that. If you have any questions, just call me. Again, y'all know my number. It's 540-556-4004. Hope y'all enjoy what this looks like. It is gorgeous, and when we're done, it's going to be stunning. So thanks for sticking around. We'll see you in church in just a few.